My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
What's up, my guys? So I know I talk a lot of shit about men, but I thought maybe I should start being nicer? So today we're talking green flags in men. I'm probably gonna regret this. He makes plans, whether it be reservations, time to hang out, dates, or even an itinerary for a vacation. I love a man that has shit handled. He knows how to change a tire, because I sure as hell don't. He doesn't go to bed without resolving conflict, and actually faces conflict head on, rather than avoiding it. He has at least one pair of brown dress shoes. He talks about things he wants to improve in himself, and acts on it. He knows at least a handful of designer brands. He has real hobbies. He talks about his future often. He knows what this is. He has a good concept of time management. He abides by the speed limit, at least when I'm in the car. Precious goods. And he always makes sure I'm on the inside of the sidewalk.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you and your families are all doing well. So on today's episode, we are going to be reacting to a series of TikTok videos from this woman right here, who has been absolutely roasted by men on TikTok. Now, usually videos like this, they are protected by the TikTok algorithm. They are put in their safe spaces and little echo chambers where women will sit around in circles and tell each other that they're beautiful and they're queens, no matter how stupid what they have to say is. But every now and then, a video or several will slip through the cracks and end up in front of people who can actually rationally think. And we end up with some pretty funny comments. So we're going to be breaking down this woman's TikToks, taking a look at some of those funny comments, and it should be a pretty good episode. Guys, before we jump in, as always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments, and don't forget to come and join us over on Locals. Locals is totally free to join, guys, and we're posting weekly archived content over there, because you never really know what the hell's going on with Susan these days, and we might not be around on YouTube forever. So make sure that you sign up over there. It's totally free. If you're interested in supporting, there's also an option for that. But let's jump in and let's take a listen to what this woman has to say. Now, this video, you might notice, is just instantly very contradictory to the first one. But these people can live with cognitive dissonance like it's nothing. So let's take a listen.
If you're the nice guy that keeps watching the girl you like get attached to toxic men, you might want to listen up. Today, we're talking about why women love toxic men.
Okay, so right off the bat, this woman is making a video about toxic men and why women love toxic men, when you'll notice that the video that we showed you at the beginning of today's episode is her outlining green flags, of dudes planning stuff with her, basically being emotionally available. So it always amazes me how these people are able to live their lives with such high levels of cognitive dissonance, as if everything is okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna need it. Now, the obvious is that we want to change them. Think of that one thing you were never able to achieve in life. And remember how it felt so good when you finally succeeded? That's why. We want the experience of successfully attaining that thing we couldn't get. When something isn't easy to get, we want it more. Next.
I don't know about you guys, but I have never gone out here and looked at people as an opportunity for me to get some dopamine by changing them. Okay, this is a very, very unhealthy attitude to have, whether you are a man or a woman. Okay, we got dudes out here trying to turn 304s into housewives. We've got women out here trying to get dudes to commit to them who have no interest in doing so. And tons of people are wondering why they're alone and all this kind of crap. Okay, if you're a woman and you're going out here and you're trying to change dudes, and that's your definition of love and why you like these guys, that is one of the biggest red flags, because even if you end up changing the guy, you're not going to like him more anyway. You're going to get bored. So what's the point? Right? You sit here, you complain about abusive relationships or relationships where guys treat you terribly, and yet you're attracted to those men. You get to 35 years of age and you turn around and expect good men, quote unquote good men, to come and take care of you. Okay? Like, it's absolutely disgusting.
Usually we feel bad for them. It's not so easy to leave them when we become so invested in their story. Usually this story involves some level of loneliness, And we feel like if we leave them, even though they'll run straight to the next girl, at the end of the day, they'll wind up alone. And the thought of that makes us feel guilty.
Guys, if you heard that and you are saying to yourself, wow, Taylor, that makes absolutely no sense, the reason why you might be thinking that is because it's totally true. It does make no sense. I don't buy this crap of these ladies sitting here saying that they're empathetic and they're caring and they're just, they want to help out the sad, lonely guy or whatever. No. Because if it was about helping dudes who have rough lives, there are plenty of average men whose dating lives in particular are far rougher. It's not about that. Okay, it just absolutely isn't. My view of it is, guys, is that she doesn't want to miss out. All right, a lot of these women, they have a fear of missing out. Okay, they don't want to get with a guy and then him not commit to her, but then him go away and commit to the next girl who's like prettier or who has a better attitude or some crap like that. They don't want to warm up the seat, so to speak, right? In the same way that many of them, they want to get with an ambitious dude, but when he's making money and he's very, very successful, she doesn't want a girl to come along and take him. You see what I'm saying, gentlemen? Like, I don't buy this whole altruistic crap of you wanting to help men and all that kind of... No. I don't buy it. I think you just don't want another girl to take the mantle of his girlfriend when you yourself couldn't achieve it.
We like the intensity. Healthy relationships don't have those same intense feelings of toxic relationships. There's no peaks and valleys. It's pretty stable. Although there are low lows in a toxic relationship, the dopamine during those highs becomes addicting.
And you know what? I agree with her, right? I totally agree with her right here. A lot of these women, they don't want stable relationships with good men because good men are boring. Good men are consistent. Good men are emotionally available and aren't going to make her feel like an anxious ball of misery. Okay? Like, I've said this before, gentlemen, but these girls, they're confusing love with just, dopamine. Like, what's the next exciting thing? I've seen dudes get in relationships with women, man, where, like, once the honeymoon period ends, like, how many times do you see this, where the honeymoon period ends, the woman gets bored, and then she runs off and she gets with some other guy because the butterflies have gone? Okay? I look at, long-term relationships, like marriages and stuff like that, and in marriages, I don't expect that people in long-term marriages are constantly infatuated with each other or constantly excited by one another. That's not healthy. There are probably, in a lot of marriages, there are plenty of days where both people in the marriage don't want to talk to each other. They're just not in the mood. They don't find the other person exciting. But for these women, they're literally just dopamine junkies who have to go out here and seek the next exciting thing, or else they become bored and run off to the next guy. And you wonder why you're single when you're 35.
We don't feel like we can get anyone else. Usually that feeling becomes more prevalent the longer you're with a toxic guy.
No, you can get other people. You can get other people. Your anxiety is just fixated on this one particular guy. Because you're sitting there wondering what he's doing late at night. Why hasn't he called you? Why hasn't he texted you? All of the other dudes are trying to hit you up and seeing what party you're going to this weekend or whereabouts in town that you're going to be. But you want to hook up with that one guy who's giving you anxiety, who you don't know if he cares about you. That's what it is. You can find other people. Just go on Instagram. Let's not kid ourselves here, okay? Instagram is a dating application for women. It's really not that difficult. So I don't buy this stuff of being unable to find another person.
You can't imagine yourself starting over. And the thought of being alone is really scary. And that person has convinced us that they're great.
What do you mean starting over? You have nothing. You're starting over from a man who isn't interested in committing to you anyway. This is the fallacy that so many girls have in their head, man. They're like, oh, maybe I can get that little bit of commitment if I just spend another year doing it. Like, there are plenty of men out here who will lead these women on for months, even years at a time, going, don't worry, I'll give you a relationship, selling them a dream, sitting there. Like, and these girls, they'll just bite it. And the funniest part is these women who buy into this dream and they go chase Chad for long periods of time, they will get into relationships, but they're still wanting to go back to that dude that they're actually attracted to. It's the saddest crap you'll ever see, because dudes will be in relationships with these women, giving them absolutely everything that they want, and meanwhile they're still attracted to the bad boy from like how many years ago.
And we believe it. Although it's frustrating to watch people you care about wind up in this cycle, if you're a non-toxic guy watching this, there's hope. This cycle doesn't last forever, and I'm an example of that.
Yeah, right. And it typically ends when you get into your 30s, when you get into your 40s, and you realize that you can't secure commitment from the men that you're attracted to. So you want to turn around, and all of those men that you treated like crap, now you're going to come crawling back to them and saying, oh, you won. Right? There's always hope at the end of the tunnel. I was watching a YouTube video from a content creator called Steph is Cold the other day. Fantastic content creator, puts out a lot of content similar to mine. And he has one very popular video which is titled something along the lines of 3 things that I learned in my simping days. Okay, and one of the things that he highlighted was really interesting there. He said, nice guys don't even finish the race at all. You know, they literally don't even finish the race at all, because what exactly is finishing the race or having hope at the end of the tunnel when you're ending up with girls who are 35 years of age, probably have a couple of kids in tow, possibly to different fathers, a whole bunch of debt, and you're expected to quote unquote man up and take care of these women? No, it's not happening.
You eventually hit an exhaustion point of no return. And although there's a lot of healing to be done after the fact, the good guy always wins. If you
Yeah, see, men are not interested anymore in helping you heal. I'm so sick of hearing this like, oh, I'm traumatized. You don't know what trauma is. You haven't fought in any war. You don't have PTSD. Okay, you're just some girl who couldn't get commitment from a guy, and you want us to sit here and to empathize with you when all of these things you have done to yourself. It really is straight up disturbing. But let's take a look at some of these comments right here, and I'm going to pull these up because these are pretty funny. It's always good to see a lot of guys when they realize what exactly is going on. We got this first individual here who says, it's not a W, so not a win, getting a used car that is already damaged. Absolute facts right there, says this individual. Next guy right here says, 1.5 minutes of horse crap. Next individual says, so basically when you all get ran through for 15 years, you settle down for a nice guy. And that's true, right? Is what they do is they get to that age, and then they turn around and then they get with that guy. And this guy, he doesn't get treated well. Right? He'll be disrespected. He'll be in that relationship like, oh, yes, I finally got lucky, right? That's the phrase, I got lucky. No luck about it. Absolutely no luck. It's just that the girl requires stability now. If the girl could continue to go out there and chase Chad, she would. But a lot of these women, you know, they're looking at their clocks thinking, man, I'm rocking up on 40 now. I need to have a kid. I need to get a marriage. I need to get something going, or I won't be able to get it going at all. So let's continue. By the time they're done with this phase, we don't want them. Focus on yourself, kings. Couldn't agree more, Mr. JD. You can't change anyone. You can only change yourself. Girls, don't you dare go to the nice guy after screwing around with bad men in the name of exhausted, because you don't deserve him. Yeah, your little emotional exhaustion, right? This girl right here, let me pull it up again. This girl's emotional exhaustion, nobody cares. Right? Nobody cares. You're wasting your emotions. You're wasting your time. And hell, that time ain't coming back. We all know. Right? On dudes who don't want you. And it's not as if this woman is ugly. She's not bad looking or anything like that, guys. By all definitions, she's pretty, right? And she could find a guy at any given point in time. But we are making videos like this complaining about men saying, oh, we're exhausted. So, you know, the nice guys, they're going to finish. They'll end up with some hope at the end. Because that's always what they try and sell at the end, is hope. Right? Because if they could keep that guy there while she goes through this very long phase, maybe he'll have made his money by this time. He's ready to support a family. Maybe he's got a house or something like that. And these girls, they want to bookmark themselves back into your lives. There are probably plenty of dudes watching this video right now who, like, you might have known girls when you were younger, and over time that woman became more unattractive and she never really secured a relationship. And she'll hit you up with that "hey stranger" text out of nowhere. Right? She'll start to actually clamber for your attention now because she's ran out of time, and now she's seeking someone to come in and take care of her. Maybe she's seen you work hard on yourself, do these things, and now she's expecting to be able to return to that place that maybe she previously had in your life, which of course is just, it's basically just leech-like behavior. I don't know what other way to put it. It's straight up leech behavior. Rule number 1, gentlemen, never take any relationship advice from women. Absolutely true. I think I'll just not date anymore, says Aaron. Ethan says, relationships are a waste of time and slow me down. I got goals to achieve, not time to waste on someone that's going to hold me back. Guys, just be a nice guy. Right one will be with you forever. I'm not reading that, man. Get your grammar right. Like I said before, nice guys don't finish the race. Absolutely true. Anna's here says, and women wonder why us quote-unquote nice guys stopped wanting relationships or getting married anymore. Our only goal is smashing and leaving. And this is a lot, a conclusion that a lot of men come to is like, you're disqualifying yourself. These women are disqualifying themselves as wives, as girlfriends, people that are deserving of commitment. So the kind of options that are left to men are, okay, I'm just going to leave dating, or we're just going to do smash and pass, and we're not going to do anything beyond that. And that's really what it's turned into. Now, guys, let's continue into the next video, and hopefully it hasn't been taken down due to the fact that my internet just got cut out. So we will see momentarily. All right, so let's jump into this woman's green flags and see what she has to say in this video.
What's up, my guys? So I know I talk a lot of shit about men, but I thought maybe I should start being nicer. So today we're talking.
Yeah, when you say it like that, it's almost like you said nothing at all. Okay, and this is the reason why, again, dudes are not going to hold any punches when they come to your comment section when they see you saying sarcastic crap like that. Again, just because you start being quote-unquote nice to men doesn't mean that people have to buy the bullcrap.
Talking green flags in men. I'm probably gonna regret this. He makes plans, whether it be reservations, time to hang out, dates, or even an itinerary for a vacation. I love a man that has shit handled. He knows how to change a tire.
Okay, so let's line that up with what you previously said. Okay, so you said that women want dudes who are exciting, who are a challenge, and who by extension are not always available. Tell me how that lines up with dudes who are making plans and setting itineraries with you. It doesn't. Dudes who sit around making plans with women, and I'm talking itineraries, anything beyond a single line of text, are absolutely wasting their time. While there are dudes out here making those long-ass plans, there's always some dude in the background who's actually seeing her off of, 1 to 2 lines of text. Like, that's all that it really takes, okay? I have seen so many videos like this where women will try and convince men that men need to invest in them in order to be romantically viable, when that could not be further from the truth. In fact, the majority of men who are getting this kind of action don't invest in these women at all. A lot of these women, if you sit down and you talk to them, they'll say that after their quote-unquote relationships with these men, they feel ugly, they feel disgusted, or like they don't feel like they like their body or anything like that, because the dude cares about them so damn little, and he just treats her like a bit of fun that he may or may not be interested in, on a weekend here and there. And that's the guy who has the highest level of investment from these women. It's not the dude sitting there making damn itineraries with you, talking about what it is that you want to do in the day, sending you daily text messages and crap like that. It couldn't be further from the truth.
Because I sure as hell don't. He doesn't go to bed without resolving conflict, and actually faces conflict head on rather than avoiding it.
Yeah, again, let's line that up to the men that you date. The majority of men that you would date, if I were to hazard a guess, would be dudes who would just make conflict and then refuse to talk to you because they don't feel like it. That would be my guess. Okay, dudes who leave you in a state of anxiety and fear when you go to bed. Again, notice how this individual has made 2 separate videos right off the bat, okay? Of, here's what we find attractive, and it's toxic men, but at the same time, here are the green flags that men should have that we view as viable dating partners. And these 2 things are totally separate. And this is the rough thing that a lot of dudes realize, is men who are out here struggling and dating still don't seem to understand that what women say that they want and what they actually want, or what they do, are 2 entirely separate things. If you're still out here listening to these individuals for dating advice, guys, I have no idea what to tell you other than it's going to go really terribly for you.
He has at least one pair of brown dress shoes. He talks about things he wants to improve in himself and acts on it. He knows at least a handful of designer brands. He has real hobbies. He talks about his future often. He knows what this is. He has a good concept of time management.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Because these men who you're attracted to, they might have actually a good sense of time management, but I would guess that this girl fits nowhere into these men's itineraries except for 20-minute slots. Okay, like the reason why she's bringing this up is because there's been men who have cancelled on her for the most obvious and clear reasons that could have been solved with easy time management, when in truth be told, the guy just couldn't be bothered seeing her. Okay, and again, the reason why I feel no sympathy for these women again is because one, they're doing it to themselves, and two, this is something that they do endlessly to men. We were covering a TikTok video the other day where a woman was sitting down and she specifically mentioned the eyeball emojis, and she was saying how it's so frustrating when she's trying to set plans with men. And I just sat there and I laughed to myself, man, because these girls, they literally do this exact same behavior to men repeatedly and then expect you to give a crap. It's like, if you do this, you know, it's not going to happen for you. It really isn't. I have no idea why dudes are out here wasting more than like 30 seconds at a time on these girls. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Whenever I see like a long text message or an exchange where dudes are using emojis, I'm just like, man, why? Like, get something better to do.
He abides by the speed limit, at least when I'm in the car. Precious goods. And he always makes sure I'm on the inside of the sidewalk.
Yeah, so basically she's looking for a guy who prioritizes her and protects her, which is really funny considering a lot of these women are not worth prioritizing and protecting to begin with. Like, my question is, okay, if you're a dude and you're going to prioritize and protect your woman, first of all, isn't that patriarchal? Seems kind of contradictory to me, right? Like, you're insinuating that we're your property. Interesting. Maybe you've got some internalized misogyny you'd like to talk about. We're going to be leaving today's episode there. Guys, don't forget to leave your comments, leave your thoughts below. Make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link, as always, is in the description, and we're going to be leaving it there. So make sure you take care of yourselves, gentlemen, and I will be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace. Yo, what is going on, guys? Past Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's video. Before you head out, there's just a few announcements that I'd like to make. The first is that my editor, who goes through all of the blood, sweat, and tears of putting together content for us to endure, has started his own YouTube channel. The link will be in the video description, so make sure that you go and show him some support by going and giving him a sub. Also, we are currently looking to expand Fiendish content creation behind the scenes, so if you're interested in becoming a content creator alongside me, be sure to check out the application form at the very bottom of the video description. This is for those of you who are interested in becoming a part of the content that you see here on YouTube. So if you're interested in applying, make sure to get in quick. People who apply first will have priority for consideration. Again, the link is at the very bottom of the video description. Lastly, if you guys are interested in supporting the channel, there are links to both Patreon and Locals below the video, guys. I'd like to extend a huge thank you to the supporters on those two platforms. You guys allow me to make these episodes, and your support is greatly appreciated. As always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will catch you later for real this time, guys. Peace.